So, hope everything's great. So, just a quick note, I got a bunch of different videos that I try to do, but what happens sometimes is I do them and then I get kind of caught up with life, IRL, and they just, not all of them get put out. So, unfortunately, that happens. I still have this thing from Christmas that I still have yet to get it to the level where I'm ready to release it, but there you go. So to get really to what I wanted to talk about a little bit is that I read this article, Screen Rant, and it was talking about potentially the idea in season 2 for Rings of Power for them to fast forward 1,000 years. And I think that fast forwarding 1,000 years, while it might make sense with some of the compression that they did with the series as it's established, I think if they don't continue basically from where they left off in season 1, it's going to be even more confusing because they just made it really, really hard. And I think basically it's going to be more confusing. So also I kind of wonder if they really rushed to finish. I mean, if they sort of had a bug in their ear and they were just there could potentially be a strike. And then maybe if they foresaw that and they're hey, let's speed up and let's kind of finish before this happens. So that's one kind of thought that kind of came up. Other things that just, to me, make me really think that this next season will be confusing is, for example, they established in season 1 that Adar and Sauron don't get on. So Adar and Sauron don't get on. So what happens? What are they going to do in season 2 to change this? How are they going to change this? How are they going to give Adar, or rather get Adar to give up control of the orcs? It just what storyline is going to make sense out of that? To me, it just seems like the whole thing is going to be mad confusing. So then another really major thing is the whole issue of Galadriel and Celeborn. So that'll have to be addressed in season 2. So in this particular article, they were talking about, they felt that a time jump really made sense. But a time jump, of course, would erase all of the human characters and the human characters who are not Numenorian. So the non-Numenorian humans would have to be erased, and I don't think they would do that because that would just make everything even more confusing than it already is up until now. A lot of these little loose ends from the first season, and what are they going to do with those? What are they going to do as far as the creations of the other rings in the future? So it's just a lot of different questions that come to mind, and I see that really, I feel that season 2 will be even more confusing than the first one. It would be really even a bigger mistake than some of the mistakes that they made in season 1. So I don't really see that they're going to do a massive time jump because it really would mess everything up even further. The Stranger, what would they do with the Stranger with a time jump? What would they do with the Harfoots with a time jump? So if you want to support the channel, you can check out the t-shirt store, which is www.sabkhaz.com. You can click some of the other links to support the channel. All support's greatly appreciated, and it helps me create even better content. If you like this, check out the next video. I'm out. Peace.